What is going on, y'all? Taking the YouTube channel on the road, beautiful Broadmoor Resorts in Colorado Springs. As you can see behind me, there's the resorts. There's the mountains that I need right now after a very, very long football season. But I don't want to talk about things that have bummed me out. Let's talk about things that make me happy and make all of us happy. And there's something that has me very, very fired up today. Nelly McEnroe-Marinas has been named a starter. Now, credit Softball America. They did the full Oklahoma preview. They talked to Patty Gasso. She's locked down her spot at third base, which is not a surprise. But Patty also said that she's a team captain. And that's a huge deal. That's a huge deal for many reasons. And just a few reasons that come to mind to me immediately is you're replacing Kinsey Hansen. And you're not just replacing Kinsey Hansen's defensive abilities behind the plate, her offensive numbers, how clutch she was. I mean, she's one of the more clutch players, I think, that this program has ever seen. You got to replace her leadership abilities. And you've had a lot of great leaders over the years. Kinsey's up there. You know, Kinsey just kind of walked around looking confident at all times. It really didn't matter the situation. Kinsey always just exuded confidence. And I think for a leader, that's invaluable. You know, if you can walk around, and sure, there were other great players or legends on the teams that she played on, but still there was that level of confidence that she always carried around to where we as fans, and I think the entire team knew, like, hey, as long as we got a chance, as long as we got another at bat, we're good if we're down. And Kinsey so many times herself, like a great team captain does, went in and made the most of those moments. But you got to replace Kinsey's leadership ability. You're going to look to Nelly McEnroe-Marinas to do that, and we'll see if they name another captain as well. So that's big shoes to fill. But I'm incredibly excited about Nelly and her opportunity to do just that. You know, I've talked a lot about Nelly on this channel throughout the offseason. She's a redshirt freshman. Like, that's probably the thing that stands out to me the most. She was voted team captain as a redshirt freshman in a year last year where she didn't even play because she was injured. So I think that can tell us a lot. It tells us that, you know, Nelly didn't come here after being the star at her high school, the star in her state, right? Everyone's celebrating Nelly, talking about how great of a player she was. She didn't play last year. She didn't mope around. You don't get voted team captain as a redshirt freshman if you didn't exude a lot of team captain qualities in a year where you didn't even play. This news, you guys know, again, and thank you to all the, I say longtime subscribers, like I've been doing this for several years. I've been doing it less for a year. But some of you guys that have been here since the summer, you know what I think about Nelly. And a lot of you in the comments feel the same way about Nelly as I do. So this just gets me fired up to think about the potential, not only of this season, but the entirety of her career as well. She's voted team captain as a redshirt freshman. Obviously, she did some things last year around an incredible group of players. She's done some things throughout the offseason to make Patty Gasso and this team confident to say, we want her representing us. We want her representing us. There's no doubt that she's going to be your starter at third base. There's no doubt, at least to me, that she's going to be one of the bigger hitters that you have in the middle of the order. It's just a big deal. It's a big deal for multiple reasons. Being named a captain for the Oklahoma softball team is about as great of an honor as you can probably get now in this days playing college softball. But think about the past team captains that have been involved with OU softball. You've had, of course, Kinsey Hansen, who I just mentioned. You've had Kaylee Clifton. You've had Lauren Chamberlain. You've had Lindsey Elam. You've had Grace Lyons. I mean, we're talking about incredible players who produced at an unbelievable rate. You're talking about leaders that really led national championship programs, in some cases, multiple national championship teams. So this puts more on Nelly's plate. But again, the team and Patty Gasso don't put this on Nelly's plate if they don't think that she's ready. And look, I'm not in the locker room every single day. I'm not with this team every single day. But I think that she's probably ready for this. You don't give it to her as a redshirt freshman if you don't think that she's ready to take on this role. And here's another thing to really be excited about. You know, Lindsey Elam was a multi-year captain. They've had other multi-year captains with this program previously, but Nelly could really be a long-time captain, maybe your longest captain that you've had, seeing as that she has, 4 years of eligibility remaining. And I see you guys in the comments, and I talk to other OU softball fans. Nelly really hasn't produced that much in terms of the regular season. Now, she looked awesome throughout the fall. She's got a personality that you like. The point is that Nelly has already become, in a lot of ways, a fan favorite when we really haven't seen her much or really at all in the regular season. She has such a high likability factor with these fans. I think if she takes this captain role and runs with it, which I think that she will, if she produces at the plate, which I think that she will, if she's a great third baseman, which I think that she will be and has a chance to be this year, you could be talking about Nelly, in the same way that you talk about some of your other favorite OU softball players of all time. Nelly clearly has to do a lot of things to get into the upper echelon of third baseman in this program or best players in program history. I'm not going to go there. I'm just saying the likability factor with her, with this fan base, is already quite high. And if she produces at an unbelievable level, you're going to see a lot of jerseys. You're going to be seeing a lot of kids running around, hopefully growing up to be wanting to be Nelly McEnroe-Marinas someday and wearing her jersey around the complex. So it's a big deal for her. And I talk about she has a long way to go to be considered one of the greatest third basemen in OU history. And she does. I think that we can all agree to that. But Patty Gasso herself, this isn't a take by me. It's not a take that you're going to see in the comments. Well, I think I have brought it up before, and you certainly will see and have seen this comparison in the comments. But it's a little bit different when it's coming from Patty Gasso. Sid Romero is the comparison here. Sid Romero, in my book, is the best third baseman that OU's ever had. And they've had a lot of great third basemen. Alyssa Brito, you got to replace her. I think that she's in the upper echelon of best third baseman this program has ever seen. But that's the comparison that Patty's already willing to make. And it's not like she has 2 or 3 years of experience here. Nelly's got a big bat. I think that she's going to have a great glove, great versatility. She is just an incredible athlete. I think she's going to hit for a lot of power. I think that she's going to be a hitter in the middle order that has a lot of RBIs as well. I just truly think that this news, not that it changes, I just think the sky's the limit for her. I really do. Could she have an all-SEC type of season? I think that she could. Is she going to be an All-American by the time she leaves Oklahoma? Not to put too high of expectations on her, but I'd be pretty surprised at this point if Nelly's not an All-American by the time that she leaves OU. And just lastly on Nelly, and I think that she knows that. I'm sure Patty Gasso has talked to her about, hey, this is what's going to be expected of you. Here's the responsibilities now with this great honor, because this is a great honor, right? But you got to back it up. What do you expect Nelly now? Well, you always expected her to be a really solid third baseman defensively. You were always going to expect on her bat this year. But now it's more than that. If you're named a team captain, right? You got to pick up the team. You got to pick up individual players. You got to exude that confidence that players like Kenzie Hansen did before. If you're going to wear that C on your chest, it's a big deal for Oklahoma softball. And you're doing it in a year where a lot of people think, not I, but a lot of people think Oklahoma is very gettable. You've always had that target on your back, and maybe even more so now, saying, all right, OU's gettable. This is the year to get Oklahoma. I don't believe that. I think that they're clearly one of the top national championship contenders. I'm picking them right now to win the national championship, but there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of new faces. There's a lot of new freshmen. There's a lot of new transfer portal players. And no, Nelly hasn't been here for a long time, but this is the responsibility that she has now, leading a team that's trying to go for a 5-peat. Not an easy thing to do. It was never going to be an easy thing to do for any of these captains. That's why you had to pick someone that's exuded that confidence, that looks like they're ready to be the next leader of that program. And I'm super excited that it's Nelly McEnroe-Marinas. Let's go. What do you think about Nelly being named a captain? Drop them in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching.